Now we have the main passage of the unit titled The Three Students. It extends over 2 pages. لدينا القطعة الرئيسية في الوحدة والتي عنوانها الطلبة الثلاثة أو الطلاب الثلاثة، وهي تمتد على صفحتين. It's about the very famous fictional character Sherlock Holmes. Before we read the passage, let's check these exercises to see what is required from us. Number 1, Sherlock Holmes is a very famous character in literature. Underline what you think is the correct answer to these questions. Sherlock Holmes هو شخصية مشهورة جدا في الأدب. ضع خطا تحت ما تعتبره إجابة صحيحة لهذه الأسئلة. So we have here 4 questions. Sherlock Holmes was a doctor, scientist or detective. هل كان طبيبا أم عالما أم محققا؟ He was American, English or Scottish. He lived in Chicago, London or Edinburgh. Edinburgh is in Scotland, a city in Scotland. Stories about him first appeared in the 19th, 20th or 21st century. So based on your information, the information that you have about this person, this character, you need to answer this question. عليك أن تجيب عن هذه الأسئلة بالاستناد للمعلومات التي تمتلكها عن هذه الشخصية. معلومات عامة. Number 2. You are going to read a Sherlock Holmes story called The Three Students. This is a story. Look at the picture. Where is the picture? This is the picture. And the headings. What is meant by headings? These are headings. This is a heading. Here we have the title. Here we have a heading. Heading number 2 and heading number 3. What can you guess about the story? ما الذي يمكن أن تحزره عن القصة بالاستناد إلى الصورة الموجودة والعناوين الفرعية الثلاث. In the picture we can see Sherlock Holmes standing with 2 people in the same room, and there is a third person outside the room. Let's go to number 3. Read part 1. This is part 1, and answer the questions. We have the questions that we should answer based on our reading of comprehension of part 1. Number 4. Read part 2. Are the sentences true or false? Correct the false ones. بعد قراءة الجزء الثاني يجب أن نحدد ماذا كانت هذه الجمل صحيحة أم خاطئة وأن نصحح الخاطئة منها. Number 5. Read part 3. Which of the 3 students do you think copied the papers? Discuss with the partner and then the class. بعد أن تقرأ الجزء الثالث أخبرنا عن تخمينك بشأن الطالب الذي نسخ الأسئلة. Of course the headings, who copied the exam questions, من نسخ أسئلة الامتحان. Heading number 2, looking for clues, البحث عن أدلة أو البحث عن خيوط. And finally the 3 suspects المشتبه بهم الثلاثة. I will read the passage for you, and here in this video I'll just read it, so pay attention to the pronunciation and the way I read, and then in the next video I'll explain it to you in with some use of Arabic. Who copied the exam questions? Sherlock Holmes was staying in one of England's most famous university towns. One evening, he received a visit from an old friend, Mr. Henry Weaver, a tutor at one of the colleges. He seemed very nervous and excited. Henry Weaver seemed very nervous and excited. I need your help, Holmes. Something very serious happened at my college this afternoon. Holmes was very busy. Why didn't you... I'll try to change my voice to sound like to make you distinguish between the 2 characters. Why didn't you call the police? He said irritably. No, that's impossible. We can't have a scandal at the college. Let me explain. You see, tomorrow is the first day of the university examinations, and this afternoon I received the Greek translation papers. I put them on the desk in my room while I went to have a tea with a friend. When I returned, I saw immediately that the papers were lying on the floor by the window. I see, said Holmes. Please continue. Well, at first I thought that perhaps my servant Bannister was responsible, but of course he said no, and I believe him. He and I examined the room very carefully. "And what did you find?" asked Holmes impatiently. On the table next to the window, we found a broken pencil. Also on my desk, there was a small ball of black mud. There were no signs of entry at the window. Please help me, Holmes. It's clear that someone copied the exam questions. If I don't find who did it, I will have to cancel the exam, and there will be a scandal." "I need to visit your room, said Holmes. Part 2. Looking for clues. They walked towards the tutor's room, which was on the ground floor. Holmes tried to look in through the window, but he wasn't tall enough. Above lived 3 students, 1 on each floor. Holmes entered the room and examined the carpet. "Nothing," he said. "Let me look at the table by the window." "What can you see?" "Ah, yes, it's clear what happened. Someone took the papers, one at a time, from your desk over to the window table to copy them, because from there he could see when you were returning." "But nobody could see me. I came back through the side door." "Ah, so you surprised him, and he had to leave hurriedly. Did you hear someone running away as you entered?" "No." "Interesting. So, we just have one small ball of black mud as a clue. Now tell me, where does that door go to?" "My bedroom." "Can I examine it?" "Yes, of course." Holmes followed Weaver into his bedroom. Hello, said Holmes. "What's this?" "Another small ball of black mud, exactly like the one on the desk. Clearly, your visitor came into the bedroom." "I don't understand. Why did he do that?" "Well, when you came back so suddenly, he ran into your bedroom to hide. Look at the bedroom window. It's open. That's obviously how he escaped." Let's go finally to part 3, the last one, titled The 3 Suspects. "Now," said Holmes, "the 3 students who live above you, are they all taking this examination?" "Yes." "Tell me about them." "Well, on the first floor is Gresham, an excellent student and an athlete, particularly good at the long jump. He's hard-working but poor." "And the second floor?" "Dola Tras lives there. He's from India, very quiet and hard-working, but Greek translation is his weak subject. And finally, there is Miles McLaren on the top floor, a very intelligent student, one of the best when he chooses to work, but he's very lazy and very worried about this exam." "Now tell me," said Holmes, "how tall are these young men?" How tall? What a strange question. I think Miles is taller than the Indian, but Gresham is the tallest, over 6 feet. "Ah, that's important. Now, Weaver, I wish you good night. I will return tomorrow." Next morning, Sherlock Holmes left his house very early because he returned to the tutor's rooms. Mr. Weaver was waiting nervously for him.